What's up, guys, and welcome back to another City Skylines stream. What's going on, Kid Wizard and Kibble? Thank you very much for the host. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another day of building. We are a little later than usual. I apologize for that, but it's been a very long day, and I'm glad to be getting back to the city. But it has been a very, very long day. Hopefully you guys are doing well. What's going on, MP and Prelate? How are you guys doing? And last time we were building up this cool new little area. We had our little industrial zone that we got in there and expanding our new downtown, which is looking pretty good. A lot of offices in there, which is good because we do have the demand, but we still have that huge demand for industry / offices. So I'm thinking we could use some more industry, because as I was talking about last time we were building, because we also have this awesome area for residential, which we need to zone. But in terms of zoning and demand and everything like that, offices are great and we can definitely get a lot of those in, but I feel like, especially for this city, which is not totally committed to being high education, actually a third of the population still uneducated, which is good because we do have a lot of industry. I'm thinking we're going to do some more industry, but I think we're going to do it a little further down the highway, so kind of making this a little bit of an industrial highway area, which might get really busy because, as you can already see, it is a very busy highway for just having the 2 lanes. It's also a very bumpy highway. But in terms of traffic flow, it's still doing really well. So I want to get some more industry down. I actually think our little triangle here is doing really well, surprisingly, as well. Just because of the fact that we've got everyone turning right here and everyone turning left up there, so it doesn't cause a huge mess of traffic in the middle. So I think that's cool. I do want to do one more thing, though, where we do some slip ramps going like so. So you guys can only go to the right. Well, actually, you can only go to the right anyway, but just make sure. Make it so you guys can't go like so. Perfect. So we'll move a slip ramp in there, and let's do the same over here just to make getting in and out as quick and efficient as possible. So you guys can't turn there because they have their slip ramp. Actually, yeah, you guys should only be able to go straight, and you guys can only go to the left. So that will be good there, and you guys can only go to there. Perfect. So just a little bit of an improvement. And I like it. I think that's going to do pretty well. Let's see if people start to use them. They do. Just getting the traffic flow in and out a little better all over the place. And then we also did some slip ramps over here last time, which are kind of weird looking, but I think they're working. There is a weird little dip in the earth here, which probably isn't the best. Let's see if we raise this up just a little bit. Yeah, why is this so bumpy here? Let's just make this nice and level, especially since we have the monorail. I feel like we would want this to be a little level. There we go. That looks okay. Still a little bit of a bump over here. Oh yeah. Why is that? There we go. That's a lot smoother. Rather than there being just a step in the middle of the monorail system. How are our buildings doing? Do we have to move any of those? I think they're doing okay. I don't think we have to... maybe we'll move this guy. Just bring him down a little bit. A little closer to street level. Oh, still a little bumpy, but better. It's definitely better than whatever it was trying to do before. How's the traffic doing? Not bad. A little busy in the monorail stop, which is kind of weird. Oh, and that's because these guys are stopping. But we can fix that because that should just allow people to go right through there. Actually, not you guys, but you two. There you go. Now they're flowing the way they should. Alright, looking good. How was my weekend? My weekend was very eventful. In a good way. But I usually, kind of just relax on the weekends, not do too much. But a friend was in from out of town. So we tried to cram like 2 days worth of stuff into one day, essentially. But overall, it was pretty fun. Hope you guys had a good weekend as well. It always feels like Monday comes way too soon. I do wish the weekends were just a little bit longer. Maybe one more day. Just give us Friday. Make it officially part of the weekend. And then off day. Because it goes straight from, oh, it's Saturday morning, I don't have to go to work, to, oh, it's Sunday night, I don't want to go to work. Alright, let's just smooth this all up a little bit. Because we're going to throw some more industry up here, I think. And we do have a nice coast up here. So I think that'll be good, because I know we were talking about perhaps another cargo harbor. Because we have the one here, which, let's see how busy it is. It is a little busy. But I think lowering the speed limits actually really helped. Which doesn't really make sense to help traffic, is just lower the speed limits, but it doesn't create the backup of trucks going in and out. So that's actually doing not too shabby. But if we do another one, another cargo harbor, we talked about doing it here, and we could, absolutely could, but I'm thinking if we do an industrial zone up here, that might be a better spot for it. Just because it's a little more spread out. There's a lot more city between the two cargo hubs, so hopefully one won't get used too much more than the other. There might be a nice split, or at least that's the hope. That's the hope and that's the dream. Alright, let's buy one more tile. these tiles be expensive out here. And we also have our awesome expressway that we might upgrade, especially if we're going to add another industrial zone. Maybe we'll make it 2 lanes here until the zone. Let's do some industrial, and let's actually just check. Yeah, all trees looking good, because we do want to try to work towards getting the new Chirp X launch site. But for that, we need oil and ore industry buildings. It doesn't specify how many of those we need, though. Could I literally just do 1 oil and 1 ore building and still make it work? Because that would be nice. We could always give it a try. Alright, let's put this at an angle as well. And see how close to the coast we actually want to get with it. That isn't too bad. And what we actually could do is maybe do a road going through here. Kind of like a main avenue sort of deal. We'll have our industrial on the coast. And put some residential back here. I guess residential would probably be on the coast, not necessarily industrial. I think that makes a little more sense. Because what does the industry need the coast for? Well, I guess if we want to do a harbor. So this is where decisions have to be made. Because if we want to do the harbor, it would be very convenient for the industrial zone. Unless we put the harbor all the way down here. That way we could fit all the industrial back there, make that a little neighborhood. But it is kind of shoved in between the highway. I think we're going to keep this industrial. It's a little unusual for me to have industrial on a coast. But let's go with it. Let's give it a shot. Hey, Lofted Club, welcome. And hello, Lady Knight. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Welcome to the stream. Alright, upgrade this road. That's going to be our main avenue sort of deal. And how did we do this? We kept the highway going beyond the main road here, which is actually still working really well. A lot of traffic just flowing right through, but then we also do have some traffic using the highway.
Let's break it down.
Lady Knight with the resub 3 months in a row. Kind of hard to catch my stream now with my job. Oh, so congratulations on your job. You didn't forget me. Well, thank you very much, and thank you again for the resub. Looking all right. I do want to do maybe a little collector road here. Rather than just doing our on-off ramps directly to the expressway. good. Get you going right up to there. Flip you around. And then for the other side, let's actually take that back a little bit. We're going to go underground with it. And then when we throw in our other ramps, those should link up nicely. Perfect. Except they're going the wrong way. Other than that, they're perfect. Oh, and that's a interesting little look with that going underground like that. See if we can back that up. Get that back a little bit as well, so that makes that a nice slope, which is still a little steep, but not too bad. And then we'll grab our ramp bits. Oh, and actually we wanted to upgrade the middle bit, which we can't do now because we moved that bit, so quickly move you back. And then I'll put you right back. Like it never happened. So now when we connect that to there, goes that way, upgrade those bits. Get a nice swooping curve in there. And I feel, am I doing this right? I feel like I did something wrong here. These don't actually need to be connected, do they? Why did we need these ones to be connected? Wherever we did this before. Where am I looking? I'm looking down here. Oh, that's for the other side. I'm a Dumbo. There we go. That's what that needs to be. And that looks perfect. Well, so on Friday you learned that it costs in-game currency to adjust the terrain levels. Oh yes, the expensive cost of terrain levels. Does it cost money to clear and plant trees? I don't think bulldozing costs money. Just ever. I don't think that will be a cost. Let's just double check. Let's see. Yeah. But I think if you try to plant them, I think they cost... Yeah, they cost 10 currency. A weird symbol for money. Just random currency. So yeah, they cost a little bit of money to plant, but not as much as terrain levels. These guys are... What are you even trying to do here? Yeah, no using this as a turnaround. I don't even know. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you come down here, go through there, and then go back just to continue on the highway? You crazy people. There we go. But yeah, the bulldozing doesn't cost anything. especially for trees because they're already there, so that definitely doesn't cost anything. But if you do place a building and then bulldoze it, you actually can get a refund. Same thing with roads, if you do it quick enough. So like if we placed a road down, whoop, you can see it costs 600, but if we're quick enough to bulldoze, we'll get 225 back for each section. So we do lose a little bit in the end game, but you do actually get some money. But if you wait, however, and say we wanted to bulldoze this, we wouldn't get money because it's been sitting there forever. I don't know why that's the case, but it is. And that goes the same with buildings as well. Alright, you guys, what are you doing? Why are you U-turning when there's no reason to come all the way down here? Look at these guys. Look at these goofballs. Alright, the other side. Probably going that way because of Apple Maps. Makes sense. It all makes sense now. There we go. Alright, so that's gonna go that away. And we're gonna upgrade the middle bit on this end, because we're gonna do a similar style to that with the loops. And because we're gonna have the on-ramp come before the off-ramp, having a couple lanes in the middle for merging and whatnot is just going to help out a little bit. So let's move that back, get that to be relatively the same. It doesn't have to be perfect, and actually with the gap there, I guess that would be this gap. Also the slight curve is throwing it off a touch, but that looks like it's pretty good. We're gonna put in a lovely little curve. I think maybe 8 should be okay. Might be a little too big. Let's go a little smaller. Let's go 7. Or 6. Let's go 6. 6. Looks like it's pretty good. That would take us to there. Instead, it's going to go to there. Alright, I lied. 7 it is. I should have trusted my instinct. 5, 7. And that's going to go straight to there. Change that to be a single lane, and we can make that just nice and pretty. Look at that. Check the origin and destination of the cargo trucks. Let's see. Where are you guys going? I think part of it also might have been... Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Part of it might have been the fact that we had that section of road here. So for whatever reason, they deemed it faster to take that. And then once we took that away, they still have that path. But they want to... Oh god, what did I do? What did I do here? I made it one way. That's what it is. But because we took away that little middle road, they still want to come down this road to try to get through, but they have to go all the way down. But hopefully, we'll fix that up, because those are 80 miles an hour, so I shouldn't be doing that. We're also going to change these to be 80 in the middle there. go to there and you go to there. And oh boy, that is a lot of traffic cutting through there, isn't it? Oh, and they're U-turning. What is happening? Traffic, please. You're trying so hard to ruin everything I'm making. Alright, get you guys going to there and there. And yeah, because it is on a curve, and this goes straight from here up to there, it's a little bit shorter. So I think that's why some people are cutting through. Some people are like, oh, that's a shorter way to get over to there. I'm gonna do that. Even though it makes no sense. And I think I just need to put a toll on that road. That'll solve our problems. But it actually seems to be doing okay now. Now that we've actually adjusted everything properly. Alright, last but not least, we need one more set of roads coming out over here. So you're gonna go to there. I'm gonna put that road back, which is a little ugly, but we can come back and make it look better. Also make sure you flip you around. Always make sure you flip it before you move it. There, that looks pretty good. I'll just adjust these ever so slightly. There we go, to get them to actually be real roads and not on top of each other. Do some lane adjustments over here, so you go only to there, you go only to there. And we do have that node in the middle, which is very important for the switching of lanes, so they're not stuck on this continuous loop of entrances and exits. And I think that looks pretty good. Still getting a couple people cutting through there. But what are we gonna do? That's what they want to do. We can't stop them. Alright, how do we want to work this zone out? I do want that cargo hub somewhere in here. And since it is an industrial zone, we're going to make it a little boxy, just in terms of the road layout. Because we could put it all the way down here, but I don't know if that's for the best to have it so far down at the end of an industrial zone. Would it be better to have it maybe in the middle here? Put it right around here maybe? Get our transportation. We're going to go with the boats, and we are going to go with the cargo hub. Oh, and actually, it has its own road. That is right. We don't need a road there. Can't connect to the route. Oh, really? It is just barely unable to connect. We might have to get rid of some of this dirt, which is okay. Gonna be a little pricey, but we can do it. We've got some money. Oh, we're making a splash. Nope. Somewhat nice looking. Right there along the coast. Let's see how that looks. Not bad. Not fantastic, but not bad. Oh, we're almost there. Relatively in line. That looks okay. We can live with that one. Hey, Amy, welcome. How are you doing this evening? Tsunami, yeah. This is how floods start. Oh, you can already see it's creeping up. It's trying. Luckily, we don't have anything actually built out here yet. I can go to there, and we could even... I guess we could have that go to there. I do want to make it one way, though. I do think the one way is the way to go. And let's make the one way start over here. And they go in a counter... Is that counterclockwise? Yeah. No. Yes. I don't know. If it's a digital clock, it doesn't matter. Tech problems. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. I know what that's like though. Past couple nights I feel like I've been having some tech problems myself. Or just Twitch in general has been having tech problems. Tech problems everywhere. But hopefully they'll get sorted out. I'm doing alright. I am absolutely exhausted from a very crazy weekend. Not that crazy. It was pretty tame for a normal person. But for me, it was insane. So, still getting accustomed to the weekend almost being over. Alright, we'll do something like that. Something over there. You going into there. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, crazy in a good way. I had a friend from out of town in, so we did more stuff in one day that I would usually do in two, so. Other than that, it was all good. Alright, let's cut that away. So we just have that bit. Plus we lost an hour because of daylight savings time, so that threw me off as well. In fact, that was part of the reason why the stream was slightly late tonight. I was like, oh wait, I forgot to change that clock. Because with the phones, they change automatically, and like my computer and stuff, but my actual physical clock did not change. I was like, old technology, you're failing me. Alright, so that's looking okay. It actually goes down a little bit in level, so it's a little closer to the sea. This one also does have the train in it, so we can somehow work more trains into the city. Or at least attempt to. Get that continuing down. And into there. I think that looks cool. And I think that's a good size for the industrial zone. I don't think it needs to be much bigger than that, especially since when we were building the high hills over here. We were kind of saying we don't want it to be a huge zone, because that was part of the problem with the spring park over here, which still is requiring some zoning, is that we made it a little too much for a small space. And you can see the traffic a lot less red in the middle bits, but our junctions are still very busy. So they are still getting used. Those tunnels getting used, which is awesome. And actually, where is all this traffic going? A lot of it does look like it's actually going through to the bridge, so maybe we should have some way of them getting from here to the bridge? I don't know. Any tips for new players? I would say the biggest tip for new players would just be, don't be afraid to try something that might seem crazy. A lot of people say, I don't know how to, build my roads, build my city. Just try something. Watch and check out, Google Maps if you need inspiration, if you are stumped. But if you think, oh, I want a giant district that is in the shape of a circle, go for it. Build a giant circle city. We've done that. It turned out all right. It wasn't bad. But you definitely learn the more you do it. So just doing more and different things can really help kind of broaden your portfolio of how you can build your city. The answer is always more spaghetti. Spaghetti, always. Bowls and bowls of spaghetti, like this guy right here. A bit spaghetti-like. But still functional. I love the way I build my cities, how the sections are spread out. Yeah, this city in particular, just because of the way the mountain was, it kind of forced us to build a lot different than any other city I've built, which is nice. It kind of goes back to the whole trying out new things. So I don't think I've ever built a city on quite a rocky terrain before. So the amount of flat space that we had was very limited. And you can kind of see in the beginning we have these two areas down here, but I think once we started with the downtown and started getting the bridges in and getting our highway system more or less in, we kind of really started to find exactly how this city's gonna shape out. And it's still growing. We still got the new coast over there. That's looking really cool. It's a very wide city from end to end, but it's pretty nice. I'm liking it. Maybe that island, we could get some more stuff in. I do want to put some more stuff back in here, just because I want this to look a little more connected as well. I want a little bit more in there, and maybe we'll do that today. Maybe we can turn this into a little bit more of a cliff and tuck some houses up there. Maybe do it like a step system where we have maybe like a tiny plateau over there, tiny plateau over there, and then it kind of just works its way up a little bit. I think that might be cool looking. But back to the industry. Industry? The industry. I always get stuck in the middle of that, saying an industry zone or an industrial zone. And then it just becomes an industry. So that's the new word of the day. Get the water coming all the way down the highway. That looks pretty good. And then we'll do one more. A little bit. Right in there. Perfect. So they have water. They still need power, but we can get that to them once we start getting the buildings all zoned up. Imperial Jedi is also a great suggestion for those new to the game, because Imperial Jedi was actually part of the reason why I even continued to play City Skylines after I bought it. Because he has a great video series of like just how to start your city, and he kind of breaks everything down very very nicely and efficiently, and I definitely recommend him as well. He also has a Twitch account, so you can feel free to follow him on Twitch. Shout out to Imperial Jedi for making my cities fantastic. Alright, if we did that, that's not actually 45. There we go, that's 45. That's what we wanted. Let's do a little bit of that. And we're going to turn this into a little bit of a slip ramp in here. Just to maybe help out with traffic a little tiny bit. So anyone going to the right doesn't have to go all the way out and then back. They can just take that little bit, which I think might also be very helpful for the cargo hub, because they're going to come down here, exit, hopefully just go right off to the highway. That weird bump in there, still not looking too bad. And let's also put a district out here, because we do want it to be industrial. Good old Hamilton Hills. Oops. There we go. I'll just fill in that little gap, take away the main road. Perfect. So this is all going to be some more forestry industry. And we'll just start with a little bit. We don't want to do too much too fast. Also the zoning. Look at that. Look at that ugly little zoning. Is there any way we can fix that? Watching me draw that district was oddly relaxing. The districts tool I absolutely love. It is a very odd thing with the districts. When you can get it like so perfect, it's like so satisfying when you get it right along the roads like that. Let's see if we can do this. Let's make it perfect. So if we just snap it right on that road, Come down. Oh, it's so smooth. So nice. It does get a little messed up with the water, but if you look at it from straight down, it's nice. Then you do that part. But I think it's when you take it away. That's when it really gets nice. You go right along that road and take it away. Oh, yeah. That perfectly cut line. Lovely. I do like a perfect district. It takes a little bit more time, but it is oddly satisfying when you have those perfect districts. You can see these are just sloppily thrown in there, but I think we have a couple. We kind of have a little bit of precision in here. A little bit. Not too much. In here, this is a nice little spot. Got that perfect right along that road. Little cut. Oh, and everyone's happy? Did our sports team win? Let's check it out. We're on a winning streak. 2 in a row. We're gonna do it. Alright, let's get back out to Hamilton Hills. Where we're gonna... Oh, that's right. We were trying to fix this little bit of zoning that we had. Because we have this ugly bit. What if we connect that like so? Nope, still a little bit of an ugly zone. There we go. That's looking good. And we're gonna start from there all the way down. And those actually are not in line. Is it because of the terrain or is it because of the angle? I wonder. I think it might be because of the angle. Yeah, that's not lined up. I would have to, I think, start from here. Then it's lined up. If we do that, it should be potentially lined up as well. Alright, so let's give this a try now. We want a road coming right down here. That's much better. That's what we're looking for. Nice, perfect squares on the corner. I'm also going to put one here, but I'm not going to put it down here. Just because I don't want there to be an intersection between that intersection and the end. So it might cause a little bit of congestion in there. But maybe not. We'll see. It actually might cause an issue with a lot of people turning back there, so maybe we should continue this through. How do we do that? Yeah, let's do that. I like that. That way there's no junction between, but they can go out whichever direction they please out of there. And I just think it looks cool. Getting some odd angles and whatnot. Alright, so zoning time. Let's just start with that bit. We're also going to need to get these guys power. Let's see if we can actually just draw this coming straight down the highway. Actually give them some power. And there they go. They're off. eventually connecting the power up to here. So that can finally fully function. And then, actually it's not fully functional because we still need to somehow connect a train line to it. And how the heck are we gonna do that? That is a really good question. Because this is our other cargo hub, with that cargo train coming all the way through the mountain. Actually comes from the mountain top up here. From these cargo train stations, and then continues down the mountain, underneath the land, and then hooks up to the actual train line, which runs through the mountain this way. How close is that to our hub? Well, actually, that's pretty close. Goes right over here, pops out. So it would probably make a lot more sense, rather than continuing any lines currently in the city, to just somehow break this guy away, get him going in there. It'll also be a lot cheaper. We do have to buy a new tile though, so let's grab that guy. So we have access to this tunnel in here, which is looking pretty cool. We can have it go right down the highway, get over it somehow. Or go under it. We could go under it. I kind of want to bring it right by these little ponds here. I think it would be really cool to see a train line go right between those two little puddles, and then just do a sort of triangle connection to get into there. Man, look how busy this highway is. We might have to upgrade this, because it is getting pretty insane with the amount of traffic there. We're still getting a couple people cutting through there, which, is there any way I can actually stop that? I guess maybe if I changed the middle bit to where they had to change lanes, that would stop them from cutting through. Let's see how many people actually cut through here. I can't tell what's going on. It looks like a lot of traffic's cutting through though. I can't tell how many are going straight through and how many are not. Let's see, that guy's not cutting through. I think that car did. Maybe put a U-turn bridge back further? Would that even help though? Because they can't U-turn in here. They're just using it to cut through, so... Hey, what's going on, Saf? Welcome. No, that guy's not cutting through. I think it's okay. Yeah, those guys are using it properly. These two will be the last test. If either of these cut through. Oh, they both did. There it is. Alright, yeah, let's change this, because this will fix it. Just make it so you have to cross lanes that way. When you're coming in here, you have to switch lanes. And then upon switching lanes, you then have to go into the industrial zone, because that's the only way you're allowed to go. So it makes it impossible to go from this road to that road. Alright, looking good. So messed up on the time change. I hear you, Saf. I'm right there with you. Alright, we'll do a little more industrial. Right down to there. And then, yeah, do we have a 4-lane single road? We have one with a barrier, which we've used before. This is where those network extension roads would really come in handy. Because we could do the upgrade where it's highway, has a barrier, which is fine. But then when you get to the curve, it looks a little, it doesn't look too bad. That's a little ugly, but I think I can live with that. It's not too awful. So we'll upgrade all of this middle bit. Do we want to upgrade it all the way down or just from there to there? I think if we just go to there, then the 2 lanes split. So that should be okay. I'll just stick with that. Download a new map from the workshop, but it gives you an error message when you load it up. Is it giving you an error message because of the theme? Because I know sometimes when I try to load up even this map, because this is from the workshop as well, sometimes it doesn't recognize that the theme is installed and it gives me an error. Yeah, if it's missing assets or requires a DLC. It says something about the map theme. Yeah, so if you go to the map on the Steam page, you might see a, I guess, link, for lack of a better term, to the theme for the map. You could also alternately load the map without the theme. When you're loading it up, there's like a little drop-down box menu before you click load that you can actually select what the theme looks like. And I believe if you just put it to like default, you should be okay. If you don't want to go through the trouble of finding the specific theme and installing it. Because the theme is kind of like the skin for the map of how everything looks. Like this particular map has a theme where the sidewalks kind of look like these cool bricks, and we actually loaded up a couple streams ago. We loaded the game up and we realized halfway through that something looked a little different because it didn't have the theme installed. I know, MP. I hear you in my head before you even say something. Every time I see a broken power line, I feel ashamed. Oh, what is going on here? Is there a stoplight here? Why is there a stoplight? That makes zero sense. Alright, let's actually change that a bit. And we're going to change this to not have sound barriers, because I don't think they actually need sound barriers on this part of the highway. There we go. get you right back. I think it just looks a little cleaner when they're all sort of the same types of roads, either with sound barriers or without. So that looks pretty good there. And we'll do a couple lane corrections where you guys can only go to that lane, you guys can only go to that lane. And I'm actually going to move this so it begins all the way down here. Just because instead of this being single lane and having those two lanes merge together, they will each have their own separate lane just to make things a little more efficient. And wait, so you guys can only go to there. That's still all good, and that looks pretty good as well. So just making things a little more efficient. We're cutting down on the merging, making sure everyone has their own lane. Let's also change this node to where you can only go to there. And you can only go to there. So they have to change lanes. They have to prepare to exit a little further down, not right as they're about to get off the highway. And I think that is already helping out a little bit. This is a little bit of a issue right here. Make it so these guys don't have to yield, those guys have to yield to the people going straight through. But other than that, I am already loving this new industrial zone, and our population is continuing to climb, and traffic, oh boy, traffic is going crazy. I'm also going to do similarly to what we did further down the highway and adjust where this connects up. Again, because those lanes. There we go. Do you have to place power lines? You only have to place power lines to go far distances. Because if you look at the power, each building kind of has a blue section. And as long as the blue is all touching, that's technically connected power. So you can imagine like tiny little power lines going from building to building. The only time you really need the giant ones that you place are to connect between the blue zones. So like this area, we connected it with the long power line to here. And then we also have connected the cargo hub to there. But once we build a tiny little building in the middle, those will get connected so we can get rid of those power lines. What's the highest population city I've had? The highest population, I believe, was around 450,000. I think we got close to 500,000, but I'm safe to say it was at least 450. And that was the city of Zen that we actually was my first city I built on stream. And it's where I fell in love with building crazy looking districts. Alright, what's going on here? I feel like you guys shouldn't be able to turn right here because you're kind of messing the flow of things up, because you could just be turning right up there Or we could do a slip ramp. Actually, let's do... Well, we guess we don't need a slip ramp because it's, Actually, we could use a slip ramp. Let's try this. Let's see how this looks. You go into there. And then you go straight and you turn left. So it's kind of making that a 3-lane road without actually being a 3-lane road. And then you can only go to the right. Okay. Yeah, they're splitting up, which is kind of weird because you would think they would all take the same quickest route. But the only reason I don't necessarily want to delete this road, I might change it to where they can't turn there. They can't turn right there. And actually, that should only be one way, maybe. Maybe. Depends on if we zone back here or not. But I want to keep this available just because anyone who's, say, coming from one of these buildings, they have another way of getting down there instead of having to fill this junction up. Because that would make this one really busy if all these people down here are coming down and making their way over to the slip ramp. But I think this will be okay. Just kind of forcing this traffic out in specific ways and then making sure that if they want to go from there to there, this is the only real way to do it. You know, in SimCities, but not this game. Every night watching, get a little closer. Yeah, when it goes on sale on Steam, the price is amazing, so... Okay, that looks pretty good. How is our power doing? Still not connected. I'll put a little bit more industrial in. And let's also put a little pathway right in there so we get some nice zoning on these roads. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, that's not what I meant to do either. There we go. Get that sidewalk back. Hey, always Spazzy, welcome. Am I gonna get Surviving Mars? I've seen a little bit of people playing it, and I don't know. I'm torn. It's like I would like to give it a try, but I don't really want to buy it because I don't want to invest in it. But maybe. I think I just need to watch some more videos and stuff of like Imperial Jedi playing. Speaking of him. Trying to lurk for a bit. Oh, lurking is fine, Spazzy. Always welcome to lurk. Looks cool, but you don't want to spend $40 either, yeah. Especially since I actually pre-ordered, which is something I haven't done in, I don't know how long. I pre-ordered Sea of Thieves, because I'm really excited for that. So I can't tell you the last time I, A, bought a game for $60, or B, pre-ordered a game. So... we'll see what happens. Might be a while till I buy any other games. Alright, how's our port doing? Oh, we did lose power out here. How did we do that? I thought we had some power. Let's grab our little earthquake sensor. I love using the earthquake sensor. Out of all the buildings from the natural disasters DLC, the earthquake sensor is my favorite. And the main reason for that is because it can connect power between two areas without doing anything too massive or ugly looking. You just gotta throw this guy in wherever you deem it necessary, and it can connect up all your power, which is absolutely fantastic. Oh, was it the slip ramp? Is that what did it? I always find a way. I am like life in Jurassic Park. I always find a way to destroy my power. I feel like this should be... Ooh, no, never mind. Wanted to make it a little straighter. The game just said no. Let's just put that back to where it was. I think that's fine. Not too many people actually using this, which is surprising. I am going to also drop the speed limits on this road to be 20. Actually, we'll do 20 on the entrance and then 40 on the exit. And then we do need to connect the train line. You're right about that, MP. You're like my guide. You keep me focused on all the things I forget in my city. I don't think my city could run properly without you, MP. It would just be a disaster. This is the inner voice. No, what was it last time? We gave him an official title in the last stream. I think weren't you the guardian of the city? I think that's what it was. The city guardian. Alright, we're gonna move that over a little bit so we do get a nice curve, because that sharp angle was just slowing them down a little bit more. Alright, let's see how that does. I'm curious to see how busy this is going to get, because it is still 40 miles an hour on this road. So they might be feeding in a little too fast. So we might have to bump it up to 30. Let's go with 30. The only problem is they can only get into the building so fast, which is part of the reason for the slow speed limit. Because it's either they're filling it up down here, or they're getting a little jammed back there. I feel like with such a big cargo hub, it should be able to take more than one ship at a time. Look at that. There's 5 garages there. Can't we do 2 at a time? This is the least efficient cargo ship ever. think that's doing okay with the 30 miles an hour. So we'll keep that. We still have the demand, which is not slowing down one bit. So we're going to do some more on there. Some more on there. Hey Moki, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. And we're not going to zone on the main avenue. We actually could have probably put this road a little closer since we aren't zoning on the avenue. We could have done it like there to get those buildings a little closer. But maybe we'll do some offices or something along there instead. And they're not having any worker issues or anything like that. Workers are actually really good. Let's change these all to be stop signs because they're only three-way. And this doesn't need a junction in there, so we'll fix that. And then what are we going to do in here? I feel like that's asking for a big sort of building, like the ChirpX launch site. No, not the ChirpX. I wish there was more industrial looking buildings. We have a giant tower. A couple parks, more lighthouses. Yeah, mostly office looking buildings. Then we have the high-tech buildings, which I don't think we've put any of these in the city yet. Casino. I think that's perfect for a working environment. Nice big casino. What did you miss today? Yeah, we're just starting a new industry, forest industry, that's what I'm trying to say. Forest industry zone down here with a new cargo hub. Got to get the train connected. That's what I'm going to start working on. But going off of our highway that we built last time, which is still very busy. Look at this. Look how busy this is. And that's because... Why is that? Why is that so busy? There's a stoplight here. Why are you a stoplight? Why are you making U-turns? Everyone's going mad. You can only go straight. You're making a crazy turn. There we go. That should clear all that up. I'm also going to change this bit of road right here to be asymmetric 3-lane road. So we have the right going over there, the straight going into there, and you going into there. Let's also change the speed limits a little bit because it goes from 50 to 40 to 100. So let's put this to be 60 in there. Let's make these bits 80. And then once it gets to the big highway part, it can actually go up to 100. So it's a little bit more of a gradual increase in speed and not just 0 to 100 real fast. That's definitely helping out with the traffic. Still at 83% overall, 82. Anything in the 80s, I'm still happy about. Going in there, going out of there. Looking good. And that merging, so satisfying to see that. Alright, I think it's finally time. Get that train line in. And we're going to be coming off of here. And where do we want to go with this train line? That's a bit insane. Let's raise that up so it's level. That looks nicer. I do like that tiny little bridge. I think that looks cool. But where do we want to go? We have to go out to here eventually. Somehow. And I did want to cross it between there. I thought that was cool. So maybe we'll go from there to here. Let's go over the highway. I already can hear MP saying I disconnected all my power. I'm aware. We're gonna fix it. There we go. Get that linked up. Put a nice little curve in there, nice little curve in there. And with our little bridge here, get that going right through there. Oh, that does look really cool. It looks adventurous. It looks like it's going off into the jungle almost. Get you coming across here, across that highway. Oh, maybe going across this highway. Yeah, barely. Barely getting across. Ooh, that is a little tall in there. There probably would be that sort of like cage all along here, realistically. Just because you don't want them falling into the water. Get that going a little further down, and then we'll bring it back down to earth. And put a little triangle bit going that way, and a little triangle bit going that way. And I think that looks pretty cool. Pretty simple, but should do just fine. 87K population city has 87% traffic flow. That is awesome. I am super impressed. As someone who is always trying to make my traffic as efficient as possible, the 84 that I have for this city, I am still amazed by, because usually I can get it hovering around 80, maybe a little lower than 80, about like 78, 79%. So to have anything above 80, I'm really happy with. Can't get above 87% yourself. 87 though. Is it even possible to get higher than that? Because there's always going to be, you know, cars on the road. I think you would just need no vehicles to get any higher percentage than that. Alright, we have all those trucks going in there. And you can see they are backing up a little bit, but not too much. And I'm thinking, where's our monument that we placed. Our big ultimate recycling plant. I think I'm going to move this. Because it's not really... I feel like not helping too much out here. There's not a lot going on. I think I might want you over here. And it would be wonderful if we could fit you right in here. We can put it on that side. I would love it right there. It is so close. But not really. We'd have to move it. Move that road a couple tiles over. Or a couple little squares. Unless we put it in the middle. Oh, let's do that. Let's put it in the middle with a little bit of a side road. Yeah, cargo stations are always jamming up traffic. Industrial zones in general always causing traffic. Yeah, that's a lot. But still at 84 overall in the city. And I'm actually really surprised because we have a giant industrial zone up here, the Rosewood Square. But traffic up here has actually been really well and has somehow improved over time in the city. I think the cargo ships or the cargo trains might have helped that a lot. But you can definitely see where the popular areas in the city are. Our other cargo hub, also very busy. And then down here, surprisingly, we have a couple little intersections that are pretty busy. This one makes sense because that is a highway, but this one is actually kind of curious. Because where is all this traffic going? Oh boy. A lot of people using that tiny little road. To get all into here and out of here into the highway. But it's not actually that busy. The traffic sort of gradient level of the low and the high, it really, I wish it somehow adjusted for length of road, because this is technically almost full as a road, but it's not that much traffic. So the red is kind of a lie, where it's like, oh, this is very busy. It's a short road and there's some cars. So it's always a liar. You're a liar. There's not a lot of traffic. It's fine. There's fine traffic. All right, where's our newest industrial zone? So for the ultimate recycling plant, we want a dirt road, and I'm gonna throw you in like so. And if we did that, and I don't think that's nearly enough space. This tile is messing me up. Alright, let's grab you. Yeah, we're a little too small. So let's actually move you up to there. And we'll make this a little windy. So we still connect it to that intersection. That should be enough space. Grab you, bring you, just moving a building all the way to the other side of the city, no big deal. Oh boy. That is up on a hill. But I'm okay with it. That's fine. And then what else we're going to do, just to make sure no one's cutting through this road here. I'm also going to turn the parking off that road. But do our vehicle restrictions, which is fantastic. And we're going to only allow garbage trucks in all these areas. So that way the only people cutting through are going to be garbage trucks, so it allows them to get to there quickly, and not cause any sort of traffic to the rest of the industrial zone. Looks pretty good. Nice smooth bit of land. So it almost looks like this bottom road has been carved out specifically for the cargo hub. Like this is where the land used to be, but because they needed to get a little closer to the water, which actually that's not a terrible height for a cargo ship, I guess. So it's a little lower, makes a little sense, or at least to me it does. Lots of trains in there, which is awesome to see. Let's see if we can get in there, see those trains coming by the little waterways. Oh, those are looking pretty cool. So just make sure they're not having any issues getting to where they need to be. I think they're okay. A lot of them going to the north there. And I think also having the trains in could potentially help the traffic as well. Just getting cargo in and out without having to use trucks. Never a bad thing. Let's put a little bit more road in back here. Let's do that because that's pretty nifty looking. And I almost want to put like a giant building like this. As kind of like a beacon for the area. As you're coming on the highway, you see a giant building of some sort. Maybe not that one. That one's a little crazy. Tax office. Meh. The oppression office. Everyone's favorite building. And actually, maybe we'll look at our unique buildings that we want to get. Because we've got the ultimate recycling plant. We've got the Eden Project. I think maybe the medical center will be the next one that we want to do. Is there a biotech building? There is in the high-tech building pack. There is a nanotechnology center, not necessarily biotech, but nanotech. Research center, robotics institute, semiconductor plant, which actually fits in there really nicely. I'm tempted to put that in there. Television studio. The old space shuttle, which I thought was really cool, until they added the Chirp-X, which can actually launch a rocket. Let's see, where's the semiconductor plant? Would that make sense in a forest industry area? I don't think it would. But it is a cool looking building. We can pretend it's something else. Let's just take a look at it. Ooh, it's also sunken into the earth, which isn't necessarily the best thing in the world. I don't know. It looks a little too dirty to me. I guess it's not dirty looking, but it's got sort of the smokestacks, and it's all gray opposed to the green and bright colors of the forest. Maybe what we'll do instead is we'll just do a little tiny square in here. Actually, it doesn't even need to be a square. It could just be a road. Little tiny road. Like so. And let's also zone some offices in here. So that way we get some office buildings, which are going to be a little taller and kind of do that look that we're going for of having like a little beacon as you approach the area. And then we'll just throw a little bit more of the industrial around it. Just mixing up the zoning a bit. And we'll see what it looks like, because I just want a couple buildings in there that do look a little taller. And then, since we have so much demand, I'm also going to throw some offices on the main road here. So we'll see how that looks. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks kind of cool, having just a couple big buildings. Because I feel like, especially by the highway, in America at least, whenever I'm driving on the highway, I usually see some like big buildings, usually office type buildings, sort of right off the highway. So let's do it. If we don't like it, we can always change it. That's the great thing about City Skylines. Speaking of tips for new players earlier, is don't be afraid to try something, because you can always delete it, you can always bulldoze it, you can always draw a different road. And sometimes when you try something wacky, you come up with something cool. Alright, lots of traffic slowing down in there, and that is because of speed limits. So let's change these to 80. So that'll be good. We have our lanes going like so they don't need to worry about slowing down. And then also, if we wanted to, we can make this. Yeah, let's do it. I was gonna wait to see if we build any more roads on the other side, but let's do some lane adjustments to where the left lane has to turn left. If you want to go straight, you gotta use that right lane to actually get them to use both lanes rather than just everyone driving in the left lane. And then one more down here, and I think that's all of them. And we don't have that going anywhere just yet, but we will. We've got those offices going in there. We do have a bit of commercial demand. And we still have some zoning to do in here. We've got our little leisure district, I believe. Wasn't this leisure? Oh. No issues. No issues going on here. None at all. Hey, Obi, how's it going? We're doing all right here. Just having some fun. Building up our cool city. Sad that the weekend is almost over. But we're making do. Alright, I'll put a little bit of path right there so we can get one more building in there. Man, look at all the people walking around. That's awesome. You'll let it slide. You didn't warn me about it, so I had no way of knowing. That was the test, to see if you actually were paying attention. I also realized we've never actually got our water buildings in here. So let's grab those leisure and tourism buildings that we got. We got a skate park. Should we put a skate park in? We could actually put the skate park over here on the end. Pixelated Snow with the $5 donation. I admire your work, as I said before. You're a creative genius. Pixelated Snow, thank you very, very much for the $5. Very kind to you. I'm still not 100% sure you got the right guy. I don't know if I'm a creative genius, but I really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So do we want the skate park? We'd have to get rid of that building. If it was a little smaller. I think, you know what? No, there's a building there now. We can't do it. Now we're gonna do it. I'm gonna put a skate park. Little skate park by the water. Look at that. People already getting their skate on. Let's check this dude out. Let's see. Let's get in there. Here he goes. Oh, up and over. Oh, the sick grind. Well done, sir. Well done. Is that dude like filming him? You're just like watching. This is a poser right here. This guy, he's not even skating. He's just holding a skateboard trying to be the cool kid. Everyone else is skating. That's pretty funny. Alright, we got a skate park in. Obviously we want a restaurant. I think that would be cool. Put you right about there. We have jet skis, which sounds fantastic. We'll put it right across from the skate park. This is the extreme sports section of the city. We've got marinas, fishing tours, organized fishing tours, run year-round. Yeah, we'll go with the fishing tours, why not? Throw that in right about there. Oh, we also had beach volleyball that we could have put down. I think the skate park is a little cooler than the beach volleyball. And then we have fishing piers, which we'll add right there. I don't know. I'm always torn. Do I want more buildings? Do I want less buildings? Because I do like the look when there's a lot of things going on. We got fishing tours. We've got jet ski. I think we might put a marina down here too. Right in the middle. A little closer to the fishing tours. Stay away from the jet skis. And these guys are a little off the water. We could lower them a bit. I'm on it, MP. I got it. I got the water. Oh, you know what we should also do? Because there's a couple other buildings, which I think are in... Where are they? In here. I always forget about these ones that you can also put on the coast. Like the fishing island and the floating cafe. Let's put the floating cafe out there. That's way too close. Put you over there. So it's which restaurant do you want to go to? The one on the dock or the one out in the middle of the ocean? Take your pick. And we got the fishing, and then there's the fishing island. Which is that one. So let's delete the fishing tours, replace it with the fishing island. Oh yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Looks like a lot more is going on when you have those buildings. And I always forget about them because they're actually in the parks, not in the tourism and leisure. Alright, these actually look a little high. I feel like that should be that height. Are there actually cars parked there? It's kind of weird. There's cars just pulled into that spot. Have I ever been on a fishing pier? Not like a proper one. I've been on piers, but not like I guess like a dedicated fishing pier. What's up, 1BA? Welcome. How are you doing this evening? Alright, yeah, like this is a little too high. A little bit of a jump to get up on there. That looks a lot better. Lower you up a little bit, and this one's not too shabby. Oh, and there's a car just driving onto it. Last but not least, the jet skis. Perfect. So sitting right on that key. And actually, did we do that on our other buildings? I don't think we have actually adjusted the heights of them. We adjusted the heights of the key wherever they are. Yeah, we actually never fixed these guys. So that'll help get them a little closer to the water as well. Is the skate park in a DLC? It is. It comes with the After Dark DLC, and it is one of the parks for the leisure and tourism specialty areas. So it's, I guess, technically a leisure building? Leisure or tourism, whichever you create. And of course you can use it in zones that aren't leisure or tourism, but it fit in nicely to the zone we made. That's looking good all along there now. And you can see still a little bit of a jump to get into the boat, but it's a little closer. I'm sure they don't mind. So they have some sort of ladder system to get down to the boat. This one, you can see where we didn't make it perfectly close to the water. And actually the weird angle is kind of throwing that one off. That one actually looks pretty good where it is. And I think we have one other area down here, and these ones we tried to get as close as we possibly could to being the proper heights. A lot more realistic in terms of the heights of the buildings. They're not miles above the sea. That one nice. And you, and are you the last one? Let's see. That one looks good. That one looks pretty good. Perfect. Yeah, you can see these boats actually look like they're within reach of the dock. Stuck at work and your nose has been slowly bleeding for 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm sorry to hear that. I get nosebleeds every now and then where it just comes out of nowhere. And I'm like, why is my nose bleeding? I usually just like shove a tissue up there. And then it usually stops. But if it continues for longer, 2 hours is a long time, so I don't know if you need to call 911, but maybe hit up the nearest medical facility. Alright, lots of offices in there, and we still have that crazy demand. So we'll do a little bit more industry. In there. Had a cold over a week and you were blowing my nose and it got irritated. Ah, that'll do it. That will definitely irritate the inside of your nostrils a lot. Oh, snap. What did we do? What did we do? I know what we did. We forgot to put fire. Actually, we forgot to put eddy surfaces. And I say forgot because just completely disregard sounds bad. So let's put a little bit of fire in there. And maybe that will want people to move in, because we don't have any residential demand. Which is surprising, because usually when we're zoning industrial, the demand goes up quite a bit. Unless they're finally sick of industrial zones, which could be another possibility. Alright, we have the demand. I'm going to put some offices in here and not on there. And then I'm also going to do some commercial all around our business park here, because that was the original intent when we built this up, was to make it a little bit of a commercial zone, since we don't have any real large commercial zones out here on this side of the mountain. And in order to get the medical clinic, we need the high interest tower, which is this guy. Oh, that is a big building. Do we want to put a giant wall between the industry and the rest of the city? Because that would be a good building to do that. But I think we'll hold off for right now. I'm also going to get rid of this power station, because I don't think we need that. And we'll not delete you, but switch you over. Oh, it doesn't actually fit. Damn. That would have been just perfect if that snugly fit right in there. I guess we could technically move all this over one. So let's do that. Get our dirt road back. Put you right there. Get those helicopters. Very important in the city. As we saw with all the fires. Put you right in there. Get our recycling plants. Put you guys back in as well. And then let's also raise all this up to be nice and level. There we go. That looks a little better. They're not sunken into the earth. Okay. Oh, I disconnected the power, but I didn't, because it's actually all connected now. We don't need those anymore, so it was all calculated. Those warehouses look nice. The warehouses. I'm not sure what warehouses you're talking about. Are you talking about these? Because this is actually the tram depot. That's what this is. Pretty much all the buildings are either from the base game or the DLCs, with a couple exceptions of unique buildings that I got off the workshop, but it's very few and far between. But all the little buildings are just your normal, regular old vanilla. It does look very warehouse-like. I never really noticed that think it's maybe the roofs that really kind of give it that warehouse look and feel. It's actually a nice building for a transportation depot building. You don't really appreciate it from zoomed out so much, but when you get in there, it actually looks pretty cool. Delete all your workshop buildings, slowed down too much. Yeah, the one downside of getting so many awesome things off the workshop is that it can just completely destroy your city from a technical aspect, which is why we sparingly use workshop buildings, but we've got a few here and there. Let's see, I think the only ones we have in this city that are from the workshop are a couple lighthouses, which we have down here. Got a lighthouse there, got a couple other ones in the city as well, and then this unique building, which I thought looked really cool, the Bank of Skylines. Just making the city center a little taller, a little cooler looking. Almost at 80,000 population, which is fantastic. Death care, how we doing? None down here. That feels bad. Oh, that's because our cemeteries filled up and we didn't actually... Oh no, we do have a crematorium. But we should throw another one in. Maybe a little closer to the coast. And actually, could it fit right in there? Oh, almost. We could put it there. We would have to get rid of the fairest coffee of them all. That is a fantastic name for a coffee shop. I can't delete the fairest coffee of them all. Damn it, game. Why must you be so amazing? Alright, let's put you in. Let's see what this is. Edison Hypercharger. And the EcoStel the Hostel? What? Acostel the Hostel? Alright, that name's weak. We don't need that name. Crematorium. We'll throw you in there. The fairest coffee of them all. That is fantastic. You know what? Just for being such an amazing little shop, they're gonna get a pathway. They're getting a pathway coming specifically to their building. Ooh, and how can I do this? How can I get this to work? Because I want them to connect, but also not connect. There we go. Because when you actually connect them, they get a little rounded. But I want them to be a little more square. A little more square looking. Especially closer to the buildings. So we can snug it all up in there. And then we'll just move you slightly closer as well. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I think maybe this area could use one more thing to make it even better. And that's a boulder. It took a while today, but it was worth the wait. Get a lovely little boulder in there. A couple big guys. A up by the crematorium. Maybe it's kind of like a weird cemetery behind the crematorium where they just use regular rocks instead of tombstones. Some more Petra for this Vallis. Exactly. They added rocks to console? That's it. I'm switching to console. We're doing it. We're making the switch. They've got rocks. Oh, look at those nice big trees. A couple smaller guys. Just fill it up. Beautiful. I did hear that they added somewhat mod support, and it's very limited. I'm not sure exactly all the stuff they added, but I did hear they are hopefully going to add more, so it's not the end-all be-all. They removed freeform and curved paths at the same time? What? So you can't do a curvy path? You can only do straight paths? That seems a little counterintuitive. Here, have all this cool stuff. Also, we're taking away some tools. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, how's the traffic doing down here? Still 84% overall in the city, which is awesome. And we still have so much industrial demand. This is getting out of control. I think we're going to have to put some more offices in this zone here. A little bit more in there. We'll do a little bit more on that corner and all along here. And I'm going to put a little bit of residential in there, and that's going to be our test area to see, even though we have zero demand, is there maybe just a tiny bit of demand, enough where maybe a building or two will grow. I'm going to say probably not, but I'm hoping. They added a new tab called Decorations, and that's what paths are under now, along with the rocks and trees. But you can no longer bring up the menu to select the type of path you want to build. That's weird. That's one of the things I wish they actually would add more of. I wish there was more types of paths, because you have the pavement path, the bicycle path, and the gravel path. I do have a wooden path from the workshop, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of disappointed by this path. It does look cool if you do a straight line. That's pretty neat. But if you try to do a curve... Actually, that's not too bad of a curve. But if you did it a little larger... Actually, it's working now. Hold on, what is this? Maybe it is working. Because before we were getting... And you can kind of see it here, where you see the little squares of the decal. I think it's more, yeah, if you're trying to do like an extreme curve, you really kind of get that. And then the other downside to this path is that you can't do a bridge with it. Because I think it's technically like a modified version of the dirt path. So So if you wanted a bridge, you can't do it. You gotta switch to the pavement path. And then that looks weird because it goes from wood to pavement. It's a disaster. The wood is too bright. It is a very bright wood. I don't know if that's maybe just the theme we have that's making that look so bright, but it is a very light wood. It's a very fresh wooden path. Needs to be a little more aged. Alright, our offices are growing. The demand is actually shrinking. But we still have the commercial demand. Oh, and actually, I don't want to zone right here. Just because we're still figuring out what we're doing in these little squares. Which actually, we have the commercial demand. We don't have a lot of commercial in here other than the tiny leisure district, and it is a pretty small district in terms of commercial zoning. So maybe what we should do in this triangle bit is a commercial zone. So let's see what we can manage out here, and this will just be normal commercial opposed to leisure or tourism. Just the everyday man's commercial. And also the way we designed this, there's kind of like a side road going behind the industrial, so I think that will help, hopefully, with not getting too much traffic. Thank you very much, McMaverick. I appreciate it. Alright, we'll start with our grid, as we've been doing. Alright, MP, have a great night. Get some rest. Thank you, as always, for all your help keeping my city alive. Alright, get that one going down to there, and that's actually kind of a cool design in itself. But we're gonna change it up a little bit. Curve into there. That looks fine. What's on tomorrow night's stream? I'm not sure. We finished up Final Fantasy. Last week we were doing Human Fall Flat, which we also finished. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to see what I have left to play. I do have a bunch of games in my backlog, so maybe I'll pick one out of there to play. Maybe we'll play maybe PUBG. I've been playing a lot of PUBG recently. I had 5 chicken dinners yesterday. I was stuffed by the end of it. But we'll see. I'll definitely be sure to post on Twitter what we're playing. So feel free to follow me on there if you're not following me. Always posting updates about the stream, when and what we're streaming. Alright, MP, have a great night. Once again, thank you very much, man. Alright, cut those bits out. Let's cut that bit out. And let's cut that out as well. Sort of interesting. Little diamond shape. And actually the diamond shape has kind of been popping up all over the city. Especially down... Where was it? Over here. On the other side of the city. The diamond shape has been popping up. In there, we got a diamond in there. That's kind of a diamond in itself. Look at that. Is it a conspiracy? The diamond shape conspiracy? We got another one there? I did not even know there was that many. I knew we had some. What playlist am I using? It's actually not a playlist, but a YouTube video. If you do !music, you can get a link. And it's just some relaxing music. Diamonds are Alaska's best friend. It's the Illuminati. That's what it is. Look at that. We can get 2 of them in there. Some dueling diamonds. That's actually neat. I like that. We could do 3 if we really wanted to, but I think that might be a little too much. Even the 2 might be too much. But I do kind of like it. I kind of like this diagonal because it plays off of that diagonal, so it makes a cool little shape in there. So let's go with that. Let's also put a tiny little curve over here. Because I feel like being so close to the coast, I wouldn't want to be making a sharp turn there. And then this is going to be mostly commercial. Let's see what kind of buildings we have in terms of the unique style. Because we do have the posh mall, which we could fit in some spaces. And actually, ooh, with the diamond design, that looks really cool. Yeah, and we'll put it on the one back here. Welcome back, Moki. Glad to have you back. Oh yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty neat. And we could maybe fit some parking lots in there. It'll be a little tough. It's not perfectly centered as well. Or is it? It looks like it is. But it has multiple problems. Don't we all? Alright, let's get some more water in here. You steal so many of my ideas. It's not stealing, it's just you're getting inspiration. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm actually kind of flattered that you think my designs are good enough to take some inspiration from. Get a path going across there and going up there and back to there. Oh, no, let's actually go this way. So we get the light posts. Oh, thanks. That way. So we get the light posts on the outside of the walkway. So when we squeeze it together a little closer, it looks like there's a little bit of a sidewalk with those bright lights. And it really just fills up that area perfectly. is awesome. When you tried to play this the other day, looked at a blank slate, and your mind did the same. Starting is really the hardest part. Once you kind of get the city going, it's really easy to sort of expand. But, you know, starting with a grid, never bad. Starting with a circle, starting with just a shape, any sort of shape, maybe a diamond. Maybe you want a cool diamond shape for your district. I feel like once you just start drawing roads, it can kind of just happen. You just kind of gotta not think. Alright, shopping in there. And shopping in there. Few corner buildings right on there, which I think are going to look really, really cool. And let's also make sure they're not in a district that's going to make them be anything in particular. And actually, we'll give them their own district out here, since we were enjoying drawing districts earlier. Let's maybe do another one. Now we'll go right up to the road, but not actually cross it, because we do want to make sure the industry isn't changed. So right along that road. Too many districts here now. We don't know which district is what. Okay, that looks fine. Oh, and these guys need some power. So let's just give them a small power line just for now. Coming up with a theme for each city, that can be really helpful when the creative juices aren't flowing. Yeah, kind of just thinking. Also, I love using Google Maps to kind of also help a little bit with, like, do I want the city to look maybe more North American? Maybe you're more European, kind of styles like that as well. Because one of my cities, I forget which one, I think it was my snow city, I looked at sort of northwestern North American cities, kind of like Canadian coastal cities. So that was kind of my inspiration of how I did my main roads, where instead of having a single road, I did two one-lay roads going next to each other like that. And that was actually a really cool design that we kind of used throughout the entire city, and something I had never done before, but because I kind of drew some inspiration from real life cities and just stuck to that, and we kind of got off to a good start and never looked back. Oh man, look at all this traffic. That is getting busy. What are the speed limits down here? 60, 40, 80. This is all 40. It's looking pretty good. I love this right here because I love seeing the way the lanes how all the traffic just splits so seamlessly because this is a one-way road and we have a lane for each one. So they kind of all just flow in, and then here they split up as well, with some going to the right. Let's see if we can see any. Oh, there it is. I don't know, it's oddly satisfying to see all that. I'd be a great city planner, IRL. I don't know about that. My cities would just have lots of rocks. That would be... Every park would just be a boulder. Alright, get those going so smoothly. And the triangle design, I'm actually amazed how well it is working. How it's not really clogging up because the in and the out are split up. Especially on this side. And this side is really doing well. This side's a little busier just because of the highway. But it is fantastic. 84% traffic. I cannot complain about that. And look at that tiny, tiny little bit of green demand. Those guys built up. We have demand again in the city for some residential. Maybe some parks would help as well. We do have a lot of parks in this area. But maybe a little guy down here would be cool. What do we have? That would fit. That's way too big. That's going to be, oh, slightly too big. Whole budget would be blown on paths and boulders. Pretty much. But it would be glorious. Alright, we have a small playground, which we could do. The only thing about the small playground, I guess with any park really, is that there would be an entrance on either side. Could do some Japanese parks. Oh, or maybe not. Maybe we can't do a Japanese park. It'll let me put it there, or it'll let me put it there, but I can't put it right on there. How about now? Oh, come on, game. You're killing me, game. Why is that? Why can't... There we go. That's what we're looking for. Little Japanese park. Little Japanese park square. Just level that out a little bit so it doesn't have a dip in the middle. So the parks are level for the majority. And then let's do some paths. I think we're gonna go with the gravel path here. Because it kind of goes with sort of the gravel wood chip look on the inside. And there's also the pavement sidewalk, so you don't necessarily need some pavement right there. A circular bit like so. Oh. Let's go with this guy. Bring that boulder right in. Oh yes. Also going to do some of these colorful trees to go with the lovely pink trees within the park itself. I think that looks pretty nice. add a couple little green guys in there.
Oh, let's break it down.
McMaverick, thank you very, very much for the sub. Welcome to the freelancers. Oh, that's looking good. I don't know. I think these maybe should be slightly bigger. Maybe bamboo. Is bamboo too much? It's very bright. It is very bright bamboo. Oh, there we go. I think I like the bamboo. Gives us some nice difference in height, but also color. I can't actually put a tree right in there. That feels bad. Oh, oh. Need the prop anarchy? Yeah. Every time, pretty much every stream, at least once, somebody says, I need some of the anarchy tools. And I'm starting to agree. You guys are breaking me down. There we go. That looks good. Nice little bamboo area. And then we have this little courtyard, which we'll do as a pavement path. Actually, what if we did a pavement path with a dirt path in the middle? Oh. Oh, I like that. Mixing up our paths. So we have a nice little diamond shape just hanging out in there. And then we'll do a big bundle of bamboo. Can I get a bigger bundle? Is that the biggest bundle I got? Maybe a little greener bundle. Oh, no, there it is. That's the big bundle we want. Big bundle of bamboo. And then just some little rocks kind of going around. Oh, that's a pretty big rock. But we'll make it work. Get you guys going in there. More, fill up the space, and I think that looks pretty darn cool. It's a little bit of a rock garden around some bamboo by the Japanese gardens. That car just drove straight through it. What just happened? What did that car just do? That car drove through the rocks, through the bamboo, and then did like a Tokyo drift to park at the Japanese park. Oh, that's pretty funny. Alright, but that's actually a really cool little zone. I'm really happy with that. I like the mixing of the paths. I don't think I've done anything quite like that to get that effect, but that's pretty cool. Let's do a little more housing by the park, since we have this lovely park area now. Make sure they have water. Ooh, and we're actually getting a little bit of death out here. That's not fantastic. You gotta drift into the Japanese park of all places. That is true. It is very appropriate. Tokyo drift style. Alright, can I squeeze a crematorium somewhere up in here? Could put one there. Or there. I guess that's a good spot. And actually, that's good because it leaves that open. So we can actually put another pathway right through there. So that connects up. Because that is the one thing this area is slightly lacking, is some pathways going all around. So like an area like right there, I believe, could use a path, especially connecting up the residential with the commercial. We do have a couple paths in that space. I feel like this area could maybe use some paths. If I can squeeze a pathway down in here. There and there. And we could actually maybe get a path going from down in there as well. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe somebody will use that. And just smooth it out a little bit more. Get rid of those ugly dips. Any public transportation in the city? We do have a little bit of public transportation, not so much in the new side of the city over here. We're still kind of just getting the roads to work before we focus on public transportation. But down, I mean, even this area is a little lacking, but down in here, we do have a metro line sort of connecting up all these peninsulas here and then going out to our international airport and our tourism island. And that is by far our most used public transportation, with almost 4,300 citizens and 700 tourists using that one. We have some boats. We've got, other than the cruise ships, which technically aren't public transportation, they just kind of bring people in and out of the city. But we do have some ferries that get used a little bit. And they were kind of our first step into public transportation when the city was brand spanking new. We do also have blimps, but I don't think they get used very much. They're more just for show and for fun. And then we have one train line that connects this station up to here. And I've, since putting this in, always wanted to expand that somehow, because it is a very spread out city, so I felt like trains would be useful, but we just never got around to it. So yeah, all the developed peninsulas. The peninsulas were kind of like the only bit of land that we had that was flat when we started. So the city, for all you new guys in the stream tonight, city started up right here. This was our original highway entrance, which actually is getting pretty busy now that we're checking it out. Looks like they're having a little bit of a pause there, which is interesting. Might have to adjust that. But we started up here with this little neighborhood, and then we actually moved up to the top of the mountain, because that was the only flat land on the tile that we had. And this kind of became a cool hillside town. I don't even really know if I consider this part of the city or just a separate town, because it is kind of separate. But after that, we started buying some more tiles and working our way down the coast, since we were pretty much surrounded by mountains on either side. It was kind of the only way to go, unless we were gonna go to the north. But I don't know, there's something about coasts that I love building on. So this was kind of just like a field day for me, getting all these peninsulas built up with our downtown area, which slowly just became a series of downtown areas. This one being our first little tourism spot. We've got the aquarium, luxury hotel, expo center, our first harbor, a cool pedestrian bridge that goes between two highways. But it is a very popular area, and you can see lots of people walking around using those metro stations, which are fantastic. Very busy and very awesome looking. And then I think after that, that's when we decided to hop over the mountain, and we put some industrial up here, and then went through the mountain and broke out into this coast, which has just been coming along beautifully, if I do say so myself. A little bit of a hilltop neighborhood up here, trying to get the areas connected, and I think this might be the next zone we start building once we get this all zoned up, before we start building more around the industrial, because I do want this area to be a little more full. There's a little bit too much of a gap for me in there. I think it would be nice to see this all sort of just flow together and actually start to look like it's kind of one city. If we could even get maybe just like a few buildings along the mountainside, I think that might be cool as well. But yeah, in terms of layout, this city is definitely the most spread out I've ever made an area, and definitely the most unique. Definitely just got pockets of high density everywhere, but I love this view. I love this map view, and it really shows you kind of where we can go with the city. Like this area I think is looking good. This island I think we could do something cool on. A little bit more in there, a little more up there. And actually this isn't even the whole city, because now we're built up there. So we can barely fit it all on one screen, it's so spread out. There we go. That's about it. What are we gonna turn you into? Gonna have to start thinking about that. There's all the cargo ships making their way around the city. Yeah, the segments, it actually looks really nice, which is surprising, because when you would think of like a segmented city, it would look really weird, but I think because of all the mountains and stuff, it kind of really makes it believable and also practical. So let's do a little bit of detailing in here, just to kind of fill up these awkward spaces with some trees.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
1BA with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very, very much. Welcome to the Freelancers. Glad to have you here. Get some more trees in there, just making the area look nice and green. full of life. And that definitely looks a lot better than just blank spots of land. Done with lurking, and now must get some sleep. See you in the next stream if I catch you. Thank you very much, always Spazzy. Glad to have you here. Even if you're lurking. Alright, now residential demand. I love seeing that little bit of green. Get a little bit of more zoning in there, and actually let's change this up before they all build. We're just going to put the tiniest bit of a curve right in there. Oh, if we can. Maybe we can't. Oops. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Alright, so you're gonna have to rebuild. I am sorry. Cut that a little shorter. That way we'll get some nice houses right along the curve. Following for a while, fun to watch the channel grow. Well, I'm glad you are a part of it, 1BA, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stream so much, because it's really fun hanging out with you guys, relaxing, chilling, building some cities, and it's all because of your guys' support that the stream keeps on growing. I don't like how people are parked on this road. Because it looks like there's traffic, but I know there's not. I think we might have to get rid of parking on this road. You're throwing me off just a little bit. And actually, we should probably put some sort of parking. Maybe we'll put a parking structure over here. Because there is a very fancy mall. So I feel like there should be some sort of parking nearby. So parking structure, come across the street, get on the pathway, we're at the mall. I like that. I think that looks pretty good. Let's maybe raise that up a little bit, and this ever so slightly, just to make that in there a little nicer. And hopefully it doesn't disturb the buildings too much. They look to be okay. And then we have this little area. But I don't know what we want to do back there. Does parking help? I don't know if putting in parking lots actually affects anything. They do actually use these. I did get this off the workshop. But it actually is a functioning in terms of there are cars that go in and out of it. So I guess it keeps them off the street a little bit, What I usually do if I put in a parking structure is I will actually just take the parking off of the street it's on, and then it does fill up a little bit more. So I don't know if it actually is working or doing anything or helping at all, but I think it looks cool. And yeah, this is off the workshop, but it's a really cool building. I really like it. I usually use it a lot around airports. So when my tiny little parking lots that I made in the asset creator can't quite do the job, although I do still like these. But when we need something a little bigger, the parking structure is pretty cool. I'm gonna do some offices around the parking structure just because I don't want to fill up too much commercial. You can very easily go overboard with a commercial zone if you put too much in. It can quickly go from being functional to a traffic nightmare. So we'll use the offices to kind of break things up a little bit. And, oh, traffic. I'm getting a little crazy here. What's going on with all this traffic? Just busy? Just busy traffic? Alright, let's adjust this to where you guys gotta go there or there, and then you only go to there. Oops, and there. But just make that so you guys aren't all going to the same lane to make that merging a little nicer. A little nicer. And that seems to be doing okay. And then we've got our highway, which is doing pretty good. The 4 lanes seem to be working pretty well. And that is awesome. Definitely getting a lot of use out of this highway. I was not expecting this much traffic to be coming off of this highway bit. But I guess it's very convenient for them, which is never a bad thing. This is still something that we might want to look into expediting a little bit, because currently the only way to get onto this bridge is to come through like this neighborhood essentially. And actually, maybe if we switch this to where this road came straight through here rather than a turn and then another turn, would help make it a little faster. So essentially what we're going to do is change this road to a pathway and this pathway to a road. And I think that might help a little bit. So we'll get a little curve in there. Get rid of you. And all these houses. I apologize, houses. And we'll get rid of houses on that bit. And grab our path. Put you back in. And that's just temporary for now. We can make it look nicer after that. And then also, if we could actually, we'll see if this works. Put a slip ramp in. That goes from here to there. It's probably never going to let me do this normally. But with the magic of Move It, I might actually be able to get this to work. Alright, that's kind of what I want. Maybe a little further down. Maybe to there. It does not like it. It's just saying, please, for the love of God, what are you doing? That road does not belong there. Well, it's almost good. It's just the sidewalk. The sidewalk is making things freak out. Oh, I have to put it back to where it was, because it didn't look terrible where it was. Or if we moved it a little bit like that. Putting you back. That looks good there. That looks pretty good there. It does have a little bit of a curve to it, which I was trying to avoid. I was trying to make it just a straight shot through there. Oh, actually that's not bad. That's not too bad. Oh, look at that. That looks really good. Okay, I'm happy with that. And we'll also change the speed limits on it to be 40, not 80. It's just a little insane. So this way, we'll get you guys going straight to there. You guys going, I guess, to there or there. But then you guys have to also go straight through. So you can't make a right there, because that's why that lane exists. Now the only thing gotta make sure is that there's no lights. Make that stop sign there as well. And that should probably be a stop sign too. And then we'll get our lanes. You can only go straight on through. And then you guys can do whatever you want there. But also, you guys have to go straight on through as well, so we don't get anyone making a left turn into that slip ramp, because that would be just a little insane. So last but not least, let's just do a few junction things to make it so you guys don't have to bother about treating that like it's actually a junction. Because if we didn't do what we just did with this little symbol here, which is allowing cars to move into the intersection, if we didn't do that, and actually we might want to do it on that one as well, because this is technically an intersection, the cars would stop here before going through and then stop here as well, so you would kind of get like a a little bit of a pause as they move down the avenue. But I think this should work. So let's hit play. Let's see all these people freak out and scurry around. Some are just hopping into random cars. There they go. And they're off. Oh, did I disconnect power somewhere in the city? I did. There we go. All fixed up. So now, anyone trying to get to this bridge, instead of having to wind their way up into this area, wind down a road, make a turn on another road, and then get on, all they have to do is come in here, take the slip ramp, or turn onto this road, depending on where they're coming from, continue on the avenue, take the slip ramp, and just go straight on. So just making it a little quicker, a little more efficient. This seems like it might be getting really busy. We might actually want to keep that as a traffic light instead of a stop sign, just because there is a lot of traffic that flows through there. But I like that. I think that's really good. It does have a very red color to it, but it is because it's such a small section of road. There's actually not even any cars on it. So it's making things a little quicker for everyone in the area. Is there an option for right turn on red lights? I don't think there is. I don't know everything about the traffic manager. I know you can time the traffic lights. I don't know what manual traffic lights is. Maybe with that you can? My kind of workaround for that, because I do wish that was a thing. But my workaround of that is pretty much I just put a slip ramp in, because then it just bypasses the intersection. So that's kind of a cheat way to do it, to get people to go right. But it seems to work pretty well wherever we use them, so. Alright, how are we doing here? A little bit of traffic. And you can see, because we don't have that move through the intersection policy, I guess, they are stopping there and not just continuously going through, because they're yielding to see if anyone's going to make a left turn there. So let's allow those guys through. So now you can see they just fill up that space and they won't do the slight pause, so we can get them out of there a little quicker. And that is a very quick light. I feel like that light could be a little longer. And I feel like here we could probably put a slip ramp of some sort in for all these guys going to the right. If we can. There we go. And I am connecting it after that intersection. So only people going further down the highway are going to use it. And we'll also make it so they can only go to the right. And also make it so only that one side of the road can use it. No left turns being made there over the tram tracks. You like the chill music? Well, Unskilled Matt, that makes me really happy to hear that. I'm glad you're enjoying the chill. Couldn't figure out how to change your roads into one-way roads and change their direction. Hopefully you figured it out. If not, obviously the one-way roads are their own separate road. And then to change the direction, just use the upgrade tool and right-click, and that'll change it. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty smooth. Let's see if anyone uses it. Make it all worth it. Nope, still no one. No one using that? Someone's got to use it. There's got to be one person. Let's see. There they come. Oh, we're missing it. There it is. The slip ramp in action. Getting them moving. Yeah, the only problem with the people moving through the zone is that it kind of blocks those guys in. But it's not super busy, so I'm not too concerned, because it is a very small cluster of intersections. I usually try to keep my intersections at least like 10 units apart, so having an intersection and an intersection literally almost touching each other is not good. We could try to do like a quick on-off ramp system, but I don't think we need to do that. Or we could alternatively just connect this one separately. Also, what's going on here? Why do those walls look so off? That's weird. The difference in wall height. Oh, I guess because this is a bridge, the walls are a little lower. But yeah, the traffic not nearly too bad, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is for now and focus where the traffic really is, and this just keeps getting busier. But it's still flowing. As long as it's flowing, it's not a problem. Alright, demand. What do we need to do? Let's do a little bit more commercial in that spot. We'll do a little bit of offices on this road, because we'll do a little more housing on that road. And we'll use the offices as a little bit of a buffer between the residential and the commercial. Do a little bit more there as well. I think I want to leave this open, just because I think that's an amazing view. I don't really want to obscure that view. I actually think it would be really cool if we had some sort of dock out here. I need to learn how to make those really awesome like piers that I always see on like Reddit. People make fantastic looking like waterside piers and like cargo ports and all sorts of waterside areas that just look so amazing. The most I do is I just put like a pathway. Is I'd put like a pathway out and be like, there's a pier. There's our lovely pier. Look how lovely it is. And then no one uses it because it doesn't actually connect to anything. We could try to put some of our waterfront buildings. That would sort of be a pier. But the only issue with that is that we would need it to actually connect to that road because it's a little too far, which is the only downside of those buildings. So I don't know what we'll do. But we'll leave it open. Maybe we'll think of a cool idea. Alright, let's do a little bit of a plaza in this space. I actually like that, going all the way up. Creates a more interesting shape. And we'll get rid of the one little building there. And we'll fill out this area with a nice couple of boulders. Actually, could we fit a really big boulder? Or group of rocks? Oh, it's a little too big. We could actually fit it in, but we'd have to move the paths. Oh, almost. Oh, that one does kind of look cool in there. Alright, hold on. We need to try this. Let's see if we placed it over here and then moved it. We get that sort of deal. It does have a lot of little rocks, which kind of get in the way of things. I don't know, I kind of like it, and if we moved this pathway up to there and over. Oh, can I get the pathway and not the rock? You just want nodes. I want that node. Grab you. And I want to move it. Nope. Let me do it. Let me move that. Oh, come on. Come on, game. Alright, we'll move you. Move you out of the way. Move you back. How about that? Always find a way to make it work. So we'll get the path going up to there. It curves right between the rocks. Goes right up against the building. Oh, I think that looks pretty cool. A little curve in there, a little curve in there, so those rocks are just hugging the walkway, but I think that's fairly reasonable. Oh, that's awesome. That is absolutely perfect. Some nice big boulders in there. We'll add a couple big trees to the area as well. Oh, there we go. That's a big tree. And then maybe some smaller trees just to kind of fill it up, give it some variety. Especially along the pathway over here. There we go. That looks pretty awesome. Nice little courtyard area. Lots of rocks, lots of trees. And there's actually some lovely citizens walking about, getting to where they need to be, using those awesome pathways. That building actually has a cool little plaza behind it. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Oh. I may have just headbutted my microphone. Apologize. I was too excited about the rocks. Let's get in there. Let's see this from the ground level. Oh, look at that. Look how cool that is. That is some large rocks for sure. Again, it's almost like a jungle. Oh, look at this guy walking around. Mr. Old Man getting his daily walk in. It's a little bumpy. We can maybe try to flatten it up a little bit. You definitely see all the bumps when you get down on ground level. And then you get into the parking garage. Oh, that is... Those are some big rocks, I'm not gonna lie. They're pretty big when they raise up on the area. Oh, look at that view. How can you not love that view? See the rest of the city. All the bridges. Let's grab our smoothing tool. And we'll just smooth this all up. There we go. That'll help everything be a little less bumpy. So that old man with his cane won't be tripping all over the place trying to walk through the rock park. And I guess we'll do a little bit more offices here. We didn't do it before. Well, we did do it before, but then we got rid of it. But now, with that zone being in there, I think offices will be fine. And we'll do a little bit more on the inside as well. And those are going to build up, and that is just filling up this peninsula oh so nicely. Which is really, really making me happy. The new Hamilton Hills industrial area still doing well, still very busy. As with most industrial areas, very busy, but also not too bad. Everyone's going around the city. Traffic at 83%. Can't complain about that. 76,000 population. So the population, even though we didn't zone much residential today, on the rise. And I think it's at the highest that it's been since we've built the city. So we're getting the new downtown over here with the Eden project built up. And we're slowly expanding. Maybe we'll one day fill out all of this. We're actually really close to the edge of the map, that you can tell, because it kind of just fades away. So we can't go too much farther, but we can maybe do some sprawling suburbs out here by the highway to kind of finish off that end of the city. And then there's plenty more space over here if we're feeling up to it. But I think that is where we will end the stream for this evening. So thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with me and chilling and building this awesome city. Thank you everyone for all the follows tonight. Got a lot of follows. And to the new subscribers, thank you very, very much. I appreciate all the support and all the love. So we'll be back streaming tomorrow. Not sure exactly what we'll be streaming. It's our variety day, so we'll do something fun. And then we'll be back streaming some more City Skylines on Wednesday at our usual times. Hope to see you guys there. So hope you guys have a great night or a great day wherever you are. Take care.